Kia ora, hello, how's it going? My name's Alicia. Pretty much I've always wanted to do a YouTube channel. And I've had this block about doing a video for a long time. So here's my first shot. I just wanted to go ahead and do it. Just throw myself out there, just do it, and see what happens, pretty much. So yeah, like I named my YouTube channel Miracles Do Happen, and there's a very good reason for that. So, I am currently well on my way on my spiritual journey. But that wasn't always the case. So before this, so what happened was I had a profound spiritual awakening, probably about 13 years ago now. And before that, I was the opposite, like I had a lot of hate in myself and a lot of hate towards myself. Like I believed I wasn't meant to be here. I believed I was pretty much waiting to die. I wasn't brought up with anything religious. I wasn't brought up with any spiritual background at all. That whole part of my life was missing. And, it didn't help that I was very programmed growing up. I was programmed by my, by my family that I wasn't meant to be here and I wasn't meant to, so I wholeheartedly believed I wasn't meant to be here. I believed that nothing was going to come to me easy. I believed I was cursed and I got a lot of bad luck. And this is from these deep beliefs that I had about myself, that caused all this bad luck. So, yeah, so what happened was I was, I pretty much lost everything in my life. I was going down a dark path. I was deep in addiction. I lost my job. I had lost all my friends. I had even pretty much completely distanced and isolated myself from my family. And so I lost everything I had pretty much. So I went and isolated myself. I got my own little place. I was living off like $30 a week or something ridiculous like that. Anyways, and I was also in a very toxic relationship. And and but a dog came out of that relationship, and I love this dog more than anything. And so, I didn't love myself. I had given up on myself. I had given up on life. But I had this dog that just showed me like a little spark of what love was, and there's no way I was gonna give up. I was gonna end my life having this beautiful being in my life, and it was the only thing that made me happy. And the guy that I was in the toxic relationship with knew that was my weakness, and he would use the dog over me as a tool. So if I didn't do as I was told, if I did something that was, that he didn't agree with, or that he thought was out of line or whatever, he would punish me and he would take the dog away from me and be like, oh, you're not seeing the dog. And that broke me. It really broke me as a person. So yeah, so there was one moment in particular where he really wanted to hurt me pretty much, and he took the dog away from me, and a whole month went by and I didn't see this dog, and I was preparing to commit suicide. And this actually really hurts, going back to that, as I say this right now. So yeah, because I've come such a long way, but going back to that, going back to what was happening at that time. So yeah, I was preparing to commit suicide, and there was a couple of last minute things that I was going to do, and I wholeheartedly believed I was never going to see this dog again. And so yeah, I was preparing to commit suicide. I was trying to work out what the best way was. I'm not going to go into details around that. But, there was a few things I wanted to do before that. One of them was write a letter to my dog. One of them was I wanted to listen to my favorite CD, which is like very inspirational. And you know what? Quite often when I was feeling down and out, I would listen to the CD and I would never, I would feel so strong and there's no way I would sort of go through that afterwards. So, I was doing that. I was writing this letter. I also wanted to make sure that I was, if people were going to find me, I was sort of like in a decent state. So, like I had a shower and I cleaned up my place a bit. But this all took time, which is perfect because, in that time, I had this realization that, that the dog was still out there. So even though I thought I was never going to see him again, he's still out there, which means that there's a chance that he may come back to me, even though I couldn't see how. There was no, like I hadn't heard anything from him for a month or anyone. I knew no idea where his whereabouts was, and just the thought of him, like thinking, where am I? Where's mum? And that would break me, and like thinking that I've given up on him, and which I had almost given up on, not given up on him. But, like giving up on, that I was never going to see him again. And then, so, I just thought I had faith before and I thought I had tested the universe before, but I hadn't. I really knew, I worked out that I hadn't after this time anyway. So, I decided I was going to have complete faith and believe wholeheartedly that he's going to come back to me. And I did, quite a lot of time went by. Like another 3 weeks to a month went by, and I thought, and I was thinking, oh my God, like, how long am I going to keep this up for? It's all this time has already been, and I just thought, because I pretty much said, if he comes back to me, then I know I'm meant to be here, and if he doesn't come back to me, then that's it. But I was like thinking, well, when, how long am I going to do this for? What is the time limit here? And there was almost that, that hope starting to slip away again. And I thought, nah, I'm going to stay positive and I'm going to hold my faith and not let anything happen. And it was really hard. I was all alone. It was really hard. And as each day goes on, it's like, the desperation, but I just kept holding that positivity and holding that hope, that full belief, and then I think 3 more days went by and there was a knock at the door and I was like, and it was his mum with the dog and he had gone to jail and she's going, oh, can you take the dog? And oh my God, I could not believe it, and I knew in that moment that I was meant to be here, that there was a God that heard me, and, and I found love for myself in that moment as well. And this is something that I hadn't had up until then. I hadn't had my whole life up until then. And, and something changed in me massively. And I suddenly let go of all the resentments that I had, especially towards that particular person. I just felt at peace. For once in my life, I felt at peace. And I had lost everything, I suddenly had time on my hands. And then I had all these books, like spiritual books, books on astrology, books on the universe, on God, all these things that had just sort of come into my hands, like I just acquired up until then, but I never had any time or a chance to sit down and actually look at them. And so, I started going on this journey of self-discovery, of journey about, just learning about myself, just learning about the universe, spirituality, and everything in between. And, and I just felt so passionate about this. I found there was just something had changed, and I believe there was a miracle because, I was, the state I was at before that, you know, it was just, all of the stuff was non-existent to me. You know, like I just didn't know what love was. You know, I didn't know what life was. You know, I didn't have any of those things. You know, I was at my rock bottom. And so, you know, like since then, this was 13 years ago now, and since then I've been on this spiritual journey, and it has been an uphill climb like that. And you know, like and I've learned so much, and I was pretty much solely focusing on all my spiritual, that probably this part that was non-existent in my life is now like my, you know, taken over, and it was sort of it's out of balance a bit, because you know I lost all these other parts of my life, you know. So now that I've done these 13 years, since then I've gone into recovery from addictions, and I feel like I have found balance within my life. You know, I've found balance within the spiritual parts, the social parts, connection, my emotions, being able to you know, emotionally, and you know, and I'm starting to rebuild my life in a physical sense, with work and study and that sort of thing. So you know, like miracles do happen, and I am living proof of that. There's definitely been other things in my life, you know, other experiences that I've had since then that have just blown my mind away as well. But you know, like yeah, so I just wanted to do this video pretty much just to introduce myself, actually do the video. You know, like it's actually been really you know, it's definitely distracting. Like I've gotten used to talking, like you know, like voice messages. I've got used to like talking in front of groups of people, you know, but like I can see myself on the camera looking back at me, and it's been putting me off quite a bit, you know. But hey, it's a start, and I'm proud of myself for doing this video. So you know, like one step in the right direction, and yay, I got a video done. Awesome. So yeah, just putting myself out there, and you know, this channel is gonna be about spiritual subjects. You know, I don't know what it's gonna look like at this stage. All I know is that I'm just gonna go with my intuition and just do whatever feels right. You know, I do readings, and I do healing, and I might incorporate both of them in this video. I might do certain subjects. You know, I'm just gonna go with it. But so yeah, at the stage, I just want to introduce myself, introduce my channel, introduce you know, a bit about what I'm about, and what I'm planning on doing, and you know, yeah. So yeah, yeah. Hopefully, somebody gets something out of this video, and yeah. Hope you all enjoy the rest of your day. Love and light.